Let's fight, folks. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Share, share, share the live. Smash that emoji button, good folks. Let's fight. Wherever you're joining us from, let's fight. We're happy to have all of you folks with us this evening. Let's fight. Pace and power. Share. Share that live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Share, share, share. Wherever you're joining us from, let's fight. Wherever you're rocking and coming from, let's fight. We got a guest dropping by, folks, and we're not wasting any time tonight at all. So let's fight. We got a far way to go. It's trouble in Bad Settlement, folks. It's trouble. The folks in Bad Settlement, the beautiful folks in Bad Settlement don't like what this government doing. Yep. A lot of shenanigans, a lot of shenanigans. And dare you not say it's good for them. Dare you not do that. Yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a guest dropping by. We got to talk a little bit about Bad Settlement, Pretty Militia, Carol Hudson. We got a lot to talk about tonight, folks. So share that live. Carol, good to have you there as well. And all the other folks, whichever page you're coming in from, folks, share the live. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks, wherever you all are joining us from. I hope you all are good. I hope you all are good. Lyndon Gill, good to see you there. Ayub, Ingrid, Joylyn, good to see each and every one of you. You all know we say it on the live. Good to see you guys on the live. Pace and power, folks, and you know we wasting no time. We got to fight card set. We set. Share that live. Share. We give you a second to do that. We fired up, ready to go. Share the live. Smash that emoji button as well, good folks. Do that for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Pace and power. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. Wherever you're joining us from, good to see you. Send it on WhatsApp to a colleague or two. If you're in a group on Facebook, share it to that group, folks. We got the fight card set. And if you folks know our program, the way we think that you all do, you all know we're going next. We got the opener, folks. We got the opener. And this is where we're going to pick up with our guests tonight. We're going to pick up with the guests in the opener. Folks, you all know Rydesdale Ford has been on the forefront of so many of our legal matters, social matters as well, folks. Pound for pound, one of the heavyweights on the side of the parliamentary opposition, and I'm privileged to count him a brother, folks. I'm privileged, very, very, very privileged. He's stopping by, and I'm going to ask him about some of what's happening with the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and also, folks, going to have him here. We can talk a little bit about what's happening in the what's happening in other places. But that being said, folks, we got the opener. We got the opener set. I'd like to welcome my guest right off the bat. To see why you got to join the program early. Folks, we are very privileged to have with us tonight the one and only Senior Counsel, Rydesdale Ford. Folks, Rydesdale is fresh off of a win before Justice Navindra Singh. Rydesdale, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Sherrod. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Good evening to your audience.
Congratulations. You know, for those persons who have missed it, tell us a little bit about the decision emanating from this case yesterday. And this case had to do with the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union.
Well, Sherrod, the decision yesterday was part of a long process. I believe the culmination and the final part of a very long process that started over a year ago, starting with the suspension and removal of Mr. Ben and the then Committee of Management and a number of persons who supported him, coming all the way through to a number of court challenges. Yesterday, the court ruled that the elections must be presumed to be valid, and Mr. Ben and his team, who would have been elected a few weeks ago, at the beginning of March last month, that they constitute the new and valid committee of management, and they must be allowed to assume the office for which they've been elected. The court also went on to specifically point out that the Chief Cooperative Development Officer has no authority to prevent persons elected from assuming those offices. I believe that Mr. Ben and his team, they are currently proceeding to take up their office or offices and to commence the management of the organization.
Excellent, excellent, and you know, we're all happy that things are now moving in a positive direction. Renton, you seem to be on the forefront of a lot of litigation concerning the government, and I think kind of single-handedly holding these forces. You know, my phrasing is jagabats and trench crappos, holding them at bay. And I wonder, as we're on the Trevor Benn case, let's call it that. This recently one case before, again, Justice Devendra Singh. I want to go a little back. Some of those are the cases that you were at the front of spearheading some legal successes. Now, this is one when the PPP had just come in, just gone into Parliament, and they had a minister whose dual citizenship was in question. This is Miss Waldron, Minister Waldron. Now, the minister swore that she had renounced her citizenship. Ullage Waldron swore she had renounced her citizenship. But the Chief Justice, thanks to you bringing this matter before the court, had some different ideas.
I'm sure that was one of the early cases post 2020 in which we had to go to court to defend the Constitution and to preserve it. That was a very sad situation where Ms. Waldron basically swore in the National Assembly that she was not a dual citizen. It only emerged in the process of the litigation, and the court ruled that she was not and could not have validly been appointed to the National Assembly at that time. So that was a very important case in setting the parameters for the commencement of this parliamentary sitting.
Yep, as we said, it was one of the earlier ones. And this case, as a matter of fact, and the success of it, led to the minister resigning very quietly from the National Assembly and then being reappointed by Irfaan Ali.
Yes, that was a natural consequence because she could not remain a member of the National Assembly while at the same time holding dual citizenship.
Yep. And there's another one. It's commonly called the Parliamentary Secretary's case. This was another win, another action that was filed. You were at the forefront of it, and another win. The matter is now winding its way up to the CCJ, but it won before the High Court, won at the appeals court level, and now they want to push it up a little higher. Rosal, another important case in terms of what transpires in the National Assembly.
Yes, sure. That is an extremely important case, and it deals with the manner in which we are constituted as members. We had a situation here where those two parliamentary secretaries contested the elections as candidates on the PPP's list, and they were not extracted to be among the 33 members in relation to the seats allocated to the PPP. But nevertheless, the president proceeded, Irfaan Ali proceeded, and the PPP proceeded to appoint them as members of the National Assembly. So we had to go to court to deal with that because there is established precedent that they could not be on the list and be appointed in the manner in which they were. The manner in which they were appointed is provided for in the Constitution, deals with persons who were not on the list as candidates. So they wanted to basically add two persons who were on the list of candidates to making 35 members they would have had, coming from their larger pool of persons who would have been on the list. We could not have allowed that. That would have been a complete breach of the Constitution. And again, we went to court. We were vindicated in the High Court and in the Court of Appeal. And it's very likely, I presume, that we will also succeed in the CCJ.
Yeah. Another such case was the constitutional, the Constitutional Agencies case, and that's how it's commonly called, where under the coalition administration, we had devolved lots of the powers for the financing of these agencies to the agencies as part of decentralizing. And when the PP came back in, they wanted to control everything. And you took them to court yet another case.
Well, you see, Sherrod, these cases really and truly establish a tapestry of misgovernance on the part of the PPP. And it is part of my dedication and contribution that during these years, Guyanese will be able to see now, living in these times and looking back at these times, that there will be a record, a tabulation of the government's malfunctions and misdeeds. That case that we're speaking about, Sherrod, is a very important case. It deals with the ability of constitutional agencies to function independently. And the reason why I'm saying that it is an important case, it points out really and truly the PPP's philosophical position that those agencies must not be allowed to function independently. It goes to the core of the Constitution, under which the citizens are to receive certain benefits from independent agencies. So what the PPP did in that case, and the matters related to that case, Sharon, they decided that they would determine what would be the budgetary allocations of those agencies. We went to court. The government was completely angry about us doing that. And we decided that we will do it, and we won the matter in the court. It led to the constitutional agencies' budgets being presented in the manner in which they ought to have been in the first place.
Yeah, so Royal, litigation after litigation after litigation. And those are just a couple from the National Assembly. You've represented a number of individuals too. I think you've represented Christopher Jones and a number of other people in different matters. I mean, walk through some of them for me. You know them better than I do.
Sherrod, we would have done the number of matters in relation to in which we decided that Christopher Jones will be the party. We had the cases dealing with the constitution of the Public Service Commission, the Police Service Commission, the improper appointment of the Commission of Police and the Police Service Commission. There'd been a litany of cases which we would have filed in these proceedings before the courts. I believe these cases are very important, as I keep saying, Sherrod. They point out really and truly what the government is doing in a certain way that is really and truly the ordinary citizen may say, we have no time with those issues. But ultimately, they come back to impact very seriously on the rights and freedoms of the Guyanese people.
Yeah, and as I said earlier on, I think in no small part to your own prowess and intellect, these wins keep racking up before the courts. And also, more than that, this government, this unfettered government, runaway government, has been kept at bay in lots of instances. And had it not been for you and the work that you do, pro bono and otherwise, I don't know where we might have been. But you continue to go out there and you continue to lead in this regard and defending the opposition and the onslaught from this administration here. You've been on the forefront too of even the election petition cases. We know how some of those have gone. I've heard something about some dates in some case and were mixed up on something. I don't know if that had anything to do with you, but maybe you can clarify that if any clarification might be needed there.
Well, Sherrod, I've heard a number of persons trying to raise that as an issue since I announced my intention to contest for the leadership of the party. We have spoken repeatedly on it. It has nothing to do with me. Those were a number of unfortunate events that happened. We will be addressing it publicly in the future. There are a number of other lawyers who are involved in the matter who will be making statements in this regard. But one of the humorous things that you find, Sherrod, is that despite the degree of dedication and commitment that I would have demonstrated, even persons in my own party find it appropriate to label me as a PPP. I believe that amongst the opposition members of parliament, I have an outstanding track record, which demonstrates that I am definitely not a PPP, whether in the closet and whether out front. I reject that completely. There's no basis for it. We could look to the current battle, which I currently I'm at my desk preparing it at my office here, preparing in relation to the Ghana Teachers Union and the workers and the teachers of this country. These are very important issues. We are called to fight, and we must establish that this is a battle. We must look to see who's actually fighting, who's simply occupying offices, talking a lot, not leading our people in the way and the manner in which they should be led. Um, and this is my way in which I demonstrate to my people, to my citizens, to my fellow people living in this country and the diaspora, a degree of commitment that cannot be matched. Um, it has been case after case after case. We have fought for the people. Many of the cases that I do, you talk about the ones that would have made the newspapers there, Sherrod, but there are numerous cases and numerous pieces of advice and counseling you would have provided to citizens across the length and breadth of the country. And I'm confident that people will remember that.
Yeah, a lot of work. I'm trying to sort through my mind, and I'm happy you mentioned the Ghana Teachers Union case. And like you said, a number of them to deal with trade unionism in this country, individual, different entities that have been represented, and I think it doesn't get seen a lot because lots of it is not happening in front of the cameras, like the case yesterday of the credit union. That's not happening in front of the cameras, and I think too part of it is that you're not one to be out there boasting, but there's all of these wins that you keep racking up. I think the quality of the opposition would be much diminished without your hard efforts being out front there and laboriously. You have to do a lot of reading and argumentation. Where this not an easy walk in the park to go against a government like the PPP, and you've been calling them out on every front. And I think one of the things you're very strong of, I want circling around to come to the party politics. I don't want to get too much involved in it, but you did say that you're running. I got to ask you a couple of questions on that. But you've been out there and you've been standing strong and doing the hard, laborious work that is fighting these matters on the ground and in the court system. Lots happening where your party is concerned. I think it augurs well to any party that has a robust democratic internal system, and that has been becoming more and more like a lamp set on a hill since the last time you all had a period like this where you are running for office. I know the last time I spoke with quite a few people who were running on this very show, and I'm happy that you are here now. What kind of leadership? We've been talking about all these cases you won in the court system. Do you think a Roy Seal 4 will bring to the PNCR that might not already being had through the leadership of Mr. Norton? And I think the man's is going to try to make a run for it too. I'm not too certain. But if one can read the tea leaves in politics, local and party, what kind of different leadership would a Roy Seal 4 bring?
Sherrod, I believe that the PNC under my leadership would be a better political party. I believe that we have to start off from a position of truth, a position of making an accurate assessment as to where we are. I believe that an objective assessment would lead us to conclude that the party really and truly needs to regroup, refocus, and rebuild. And those words really and truly form the basis of my platform. We need to establish the groups again. We need to meaningfully engage in acts of unity. We need to ensure that the party is democratized right down to the smallest subgroup, which is the party groups. We must allow the people to represent and elect their own representatives within the internal party structure. I believe that the financing of the party needs to be rehabilitated. I believe that we need to provide a stronger and clearer mandate to the people in our communities and in the parties for them to understand and appreciate what are the core values of the party and what is the current direction that we need to pursue. For example, I believe that this time we need to come out clearly and indicate assertively our intention, at least under my leadership, to contest these elections as a coalition. I believe that it must move down and bury down into the consciousness of the Guyanese people as to what this coalition means. It represents unity, it represents cohesiveness. And those are important values, I believe, that flow from the commencement of the party in 1957 under the leadership of Forbes Burnham. We would have had a number of leaders who would have made their mark and their contribution, but I believe that this time it is time for a new type of leader, a new type that will bring new ideas, new approaches that are current and contemporary to the challenges faced by the party.
Excellent. As I have your attention here, I did see a photograph or a couple of photographs circulating. You've been on the ground, not now, but since for a long time now, visiting communities, making your own interventions. I see you distributing hampers. You're trying to help people in whatever way you can, not only in terms of the court system, but just physically, because there's so much need in this country. You've been doing your own small part, and again, maybe to your discredit, enough is not seen, because you're not a person to just be broadcasting this stuff. So you got a pretty good sense of what's happening on the ground in this country here. I noticed you guys were in, I think, region, is it 8 or 7 quite recently, and some photographs were circulating, and I see a couple of folks. Well, at least the photograph said that, right, he said on PPP, or he's something to that effect.
well, that is part of the silliness of even our internal party comrades, to some extent, who believe that when directed by certain leaders that they must put such sort of nonsense out. We had planned an outreach to Region 1. It's an important region for the party. It's an important region for the country. All the regions are important, but particularly Region 1 at this time with the Venezuelan aggression. So it was a well thought out trip, outreach. But it turned out that at the same time, when we were in Region 1, the PPP also had sent 2 ministers, I believe I recall, Parag and Minister Kroll, into the region. So what they really took that picture, it was where we were standing at the doorway of a restaurant. We had gone to get something to eat, and they were passing by. Kroll came into the room, the restaurant, saying, Roysdale is here, Natasha is here, Ronald Cox is here, and they took a picture. But the PPP published that picture, and I believe certain elements right in the party, very close to the leadership of the party, decided that they will utilize that picture to besmirch my credentials as a member of the party.
Wow. Well, I hope that in this contest internally in your party, that you guys can keep things above board, because, like I said, the PNCR is that behemoth of a party, and like a lamp set in a hill, it cannot be hidden. And what happens in the PNCR affects all of us on this side of the coalition. We're looking forward to see how it goes. What are the next steps? Is there a definitive word on when the Congress is going to be held?
Well, I have not heard a definitive word beyond what's seemingly an outside period of August 31st, 2024.
Excellent. In addition to all that you've said, Roysdale, my final question before I let you go, we started out talking with Ben and with Trevor Ben and team at the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. We touched on a lot of other cases that you championed and won in the court system in this country. What else can people expect? We might have missed something of Roysdale leading the PNCR, post outside of August 30.
Well, Sherrod, we must recognize, I believe, that when you're fighting a party like the PPP, you need to be very thoughtful, very strategic, and very coherent. You need to come up with plans that will work. You need to find a way to empower your people in a very hostile environment. I believe that that is one of the major deficiencies of the party right now. We have not put in place our own mechanisms, self-created mechanisms to sustain our people through these very challenging times. I believe that that is an important aspect of leadership. It is insufficient to simply lead people and promise them what you could do for them when you get into government. I believe that such an approach is devoid of a real consideration of the trying times and the stagnation that people are engaging and occurring and happening in their homes and their lives and their family. I feel very strongly about it. And therefore, one of the things that the membership of the party could certainly look to be is a plan that will immediately start affecting them positively in their own lives. We don't have to wait until 2025 and beyond, whether you're in and out of government, to lead your people and to provide for them effectively and protect them.
Excellent. Senior Counsel 4, thank you on such very short notice for agreeing to come on and giving some context to the win yesterday at the High Court. And I know the team Ben and company, they're very, very excited and I think are now settling into office, and we expect great things from them. And for reminding us of these multiplicity of cases that were won before the court and has made the opposition, I think, a stronger opposition by beating back the forces of the political enemy and beast that we have in this country. We're going to catch up with you as we get closer to the action. But thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you, Sherrod. Good night to your audience.
And best wishes. All right, folks, that's how it went down. That's how it went down. Roy Sale for coming by, folks. That was the opener. that was the opener. And I asked what? Two questions, three questions. Folks, I didn't want to be said I interfering. That's the last thing I'd want to do. We have a platform here, and anybody, we welcome Mr. Norton. Again, Mr. Norton came on our program a couple of times when he was running initially. We welcome Mr. Norton. We welcome Amanzo. Whoever else step forward and say they want to run, we welcome them. Ask them a couple of questions. Yep. But that being said, folks, that was the opener. Let's get on to some other things. We got to touch on bad settlement, folks. We got to touch on bad settlement. I was in bad settlement today. I was in Bath settlement today, folks, on the west coast of Berbice. I was in bad settlement. People got some concern. People send and call me. I got to see what's happening. Carolyn Haley, Sheila Boychel, Enid. Now we can talk about that in just a little bit. Folks, let me bring you all up to scratch with some of the other things we're following. Bring you all up to scratch, just in case. Yep. Say this and so, folks. Y'all remember OJ? Y'all remember? I remember when I was much younger. Watching the OJ Simpson trial. The way y'all watch it young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives and so on. Was every day, relentlessly. And I try to piece together in my mind what's happening here. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. O.J. Simpson, gentle folks, died today at the tender age of 76. They said he had cancer. Of course, he was a renowned football player. He was an actor. Among other caps that he was father and husband. And of course, who could forget the accusation that he had brutally murdered his wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and that waiter, a friend of hers, Ron Goldman. Who could forget that? Yeah, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. And even though he was acquitted of those charges, he was held liable later in civil court. Criminally, he wasn't held liable. In civil court, he was held liable for those debts. Yep, this is 94 we're talking about. It's a long time ago. 94, I was what? 14, 15? Yeah, it's a long time ago. Passed away today, good folks. And I think he ended up paying that family a lot of money. They say, I think it's $33.5 million as he was held civilly liable for the murders of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. And then later on, You guys know this story. He was convicted of armed robbery, right? And other felonies. Our thoughts and prayers with his family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them. Yeah. That's some what's happening at that end, folks. So what's happening on that side? Some of the things happening around the region. It's always something. The Organization of American States. I don't forget them in the Chilean election. I don't forget them in our election. They signed an agreement quite recently. They're going to be observing the Panamanian elections. Y'all try them on that side. The Panamanian elections. And this was the signing of this, an agreement between the Secretary General of the OAS, they tell us, and the permanent representative there in Panama of this observation electoral mission for the upcoming Panamanian election. That's what they call it, an observation electoral mission. That's what they're going to be part of. We're going to be watching. I think that Chilean election and the kind of representation that the OAS did left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. In a lot of people's mouth. They tell us that this mission is going to be focused on strengthening the electoral processes and democracy in that region. This is Latin America we're talking about here. And the mission will thereafter formulate recommendations to contribute to the Panamanian electoral system post-elections. We're going to be watching it. We got our eyes also on the Indian elections coming up. Biggest elections in the world. Might be the most costly too. It just might be the most costly. So they're going to formulate some recommendations after the Panamanian elections, and that's aimed to contribute to the Panamanian electoral system post-elections. And we're going to be following all of that. Good folks, that being said, look what else we're covering. Look what else we're covering. The Chilean president, as I was in Chile, the Chilean president has recalled his ambassador from Venezuela. And here is why. You see, when you're in charge of, or in the realm of international relations, you got to be so careful. You got to be so careful. All right. So the Chilean president, I think his name is Gabriel Boric. Hope we pronounced it correctly. He plain. All right. He cites as his reason for recalling their ambassador to Venezuela. The Venezuelan foreign minister's comment about a particular criminal organization in Chile. Right. Venezuelan top diplomat apparently said that this was a figment of somebody's imagination. It was a fiction. Right. He said it was a fiction created by the international media. Now, Chile said this was very disrespectful, especially to all of those persons who would have had a relative or a loved one died as a result of this particular criminal gang there in Chile. So it has recalled its ambassador to Venezuela for consultations. That is what they said. They've recalled their ambassador for consultation. Folks, and you all know, once we in the 592, it's trouble with a capital trouble. Trouble with a capital trouble. I won't waste the time. Father have his mercies. You remember following this one? Said he died of multiple gunshot wounds. This man from Middle Road, La Penitence. Multiple gunshot. You don't say if any place. This is a Clinton Chase. They said he had returned home from living in the United States some time ago, deported or something of that sort. Lived alone, and somebody was laying wait for him at home. This is April 7. Who would want to do that? He was unemployed at the time, and they tell us the post-mortem examination performed by Dr. Neal Singh, the pathologist, Neal Singh, said that the examination revealed rather that this gentleman died of multiple gunshot wounds. Clinton Chase. And as you know, if you've been following us closely, there was another shooting incident. A man was shot multiple times in his leg as well in Middle Road, La Penitence, quite recently. So there's a lot happening there. It's a lot happening there. And they tell us also that it was the examination revealed also wounds on the right side jaw of Chase, his upper left arm and chest. Also had some wounds, and they tell us that it was Dr. Walcott of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation that initially had pronounced Chase dead at the scene. Our thoughts and prayers with his family. That's just to tell where the crime situation is going in this country. Y'all know how we feel about Ben. You have a fair idea how we feel about Ben. All of them should pack their bags and go. Pack their bags and go. That is what they ought to do. Couple other things we're following this evening, folks. Couple other things we're following. Look, story here now. Pistol found in abandoned house. This is called ghost gun. Nobody carried it, it just appear. Right. Ghost gun, just appear there. Right. Kanu says that it's ranked. Yesterday discovered this gun in abandoned house in Agricola. I think this is second or third time, isn't it? The last 2 months you got guns being found in abandoned houses in Agricola. Marijuana being found in abandoned. It's ghost items, ghost gun. This gun, a pistol, they said was discovered after officers from Kanu, they were conducting an operation in the community when they searched this abandoned building and discovered this .22 pistol. The weapon was taken to Kanu headquarters and lodged, and an investigation is ongoing there. Yep. Look at this other story, folks. We show you how a lot of things start. We don't often get a chance to show you how it's going. Look at this one. Look at this one. I remember Police Sergeant Alex Vaughn was shot and killed by one of his colleagues. They said it was an accident. Sergeant Vaughn's wife, since that incident, said, no. I don't think it's no incident. I don't think it's an accident. And she's maintained that to this day. She said 1 month later, police can't really tell her what has happened. The case has been delayed. 1 month later, that's what John's widow, Janelle Singh, is saying, and says she's only being informed via media reports as to exactly what is happening. Right? She said the charges has not been laid, leading to fears that justice will be delayed. And you all know the good civil rights leader, the great civil rights leader, MLK, he said justice too long delay is justice denied. Now, Janelle Singh has had a lot to say on this matter. She claimed that no one has contacted her about the case. Right? No one is contacted her. She's learning what's happening through the media. This case apparently has gone to the director of public prosecutions finally, because we told you even on the police level it was delayed. Right? She said that she remains hopeful for justice and calls on the DPP to provide justice. A lot of people in this country asking for justice. Our thoughts and prayers with Janelle and the family. She said she don't think it was an accident. 3 times this man was shot, You all remember that? They were going looking for Mr. Wong, Hakeem Wong, that escapee, now deceased, who had left the Mazruni prison. 3 times Sergeant Vaughn was shot. 3 times. That's accident. That's accident. My God. For information, folks. For your information. I got an interest here in local law school. You know, you're boy get the LLB. I got an interest here. It's interesting. It's interesting because analysts saying that the feasibility study nears completion for this law school. This is the only thing they had to waive with EIA. This is the only thing they didn't waive the feasibility study. When I was an undergraduate doing my LLB, my bachelor's of law, and I graduated and I got it. So I got it close by it. Tomorrow I can show you. I got my thing. I got my papers. Bachelor of Laws degree. I didn't engage. Same Attorney General this matter. He said we had too much law. He said we didn't need law school. You know, he's dismissive out of hand. The way Gail was dismissive before the UN Human Rights Committee. We got too much law. He said we need law school. So I'm surprised to see them picking up on this coalition project to complete this law school. Stranger than fiction. They said this study is a lengthy process requiring extensive information for the Council of Legal Education. This is the governing body out there in, where's the headquarters? In Trinidad, one of those Caribbean countries, right? And they're telling us that 5 acres of land has been identified at Turkine campus, right? 5 acres of land has been identified for the construction of the regionally accredited, of course, it's going to be accredited by the, as we said, the legal education, the Council for Legal Education in the Caribbean, and it's going to be managed. Government is providing the land, 5 acres of land at the University of Guyana. I'm waiting to see that come to fruition. I got to practice, folks. I got to get my legal education certificate and practice. That's what they're telling us. They said while the Council of Legal Education will manage the institution, as they said, and the students, the government, they are providing the land. And this facility, this law school, local law school, is expected to attract students from the region and to alleviate overloading of UWooding and Norman Manley Law School. And then they got the Eugene de Puch Law School as well in the Bahamas. Yeah. It's quite strange to see this turn of events with the PPP because they're in concern. It's cheaper to study here, right? And we got to capitalize it. The folks want to come here and buy our education project, our education product. Allow them. Allow them to do that. Please and thank you. Yeah, pace and power, folks. We can be there. Candy on the live tonight. Charlie Singh, I see you there. Emerson, Ainsworth, Terrence, Vanilla, Candy. Who are the live with me tonight? Candy. Oh, scraps. Look, story here now. They said GRA has seized buses, boats with smuggled liquor, smuggled chicken. The smuggled chicken is what kind of chicken you can eat? Midnight you can wake up going. Smuggled chicken is the worst. Everything smuggled in this country. Yeah, buses, you know. The one thing you don't know, right? A place like GRA should be able to tell you who the owners of these buses and boats. Right? Should be able to tell you that. And this went down yesterday to tell us. April 10th, 4 individuals were also arrested. And they're telling us they are assisting with investigation. Yeah. Folks, it's illegal to smuggle. Please and thank you. It is contrary, and you could be in prison too. It's contrary to Section 218 of the Customs Act, Chapter 8201. Remember something in law? I could imagine some my law lecturer say, he surprised me here. Contrary to Section 218 or 218 of the Customs Act, Chapter 8201. Come right, smuggle chicken. Margaret Nelson says smuggle chicken is sweet. Watch yourself. Imprisonment. Please and thank you. So don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Stay away from smuggling. Buses and boats seized with smuggled chicken. What's up? Tell me who won it. Who are the intellectual authors? Well, folks, the Matson. The Mats is not Matson. No, the Matson. It's a Matson. Why we always gotta wait? We always gotta wait. The vice president is telling us that remunerations for teachers will grow. Some people say they got to go for it to grow. But he's saying it will grow in the future. If you just hold on. Good folks. A little while longer. Just hold on. A little while longer. It will grow. And of course, the common refrain is for Guyana to grow. They must go. Why they can't hold on for raise salaries as well? That's what I want to know. Why it's always the small man like us gotta hold on. Minister salaries, plural, were increased. Check it myself. Minister salaries were increased over $150,000 since the PP came in. They didn't say to hold on. They didn't say to wait. Why teachers must wait? Why teachers must wait? Why? I didn't understand that. He said, hold on. In the future, right? As he continues to eclipse, total eclipse. 0 points. 0 points. The maths in on the side. 0 points. Emergency power. Look, sorry here now. I thought all was well and good. You see, since we start talking about power, it's a national power conversation we having now, folks. A national power conversation. They're now telling us that a 2-year contract is to be signed for the supply of emergency power by the end of the week. But you know when the boy says soon, what's happening? So by the end of the week, Guyana's power supply challenges could be alleviated somewhat. Folks, I got all my fingers crossed and some toes. All my fingers crossed and some toes as well. But folks, as we are not, a story that loaded just today, I was in Bath Settlement. We were in Bath Settlement. I want to thank the people of Bath Settlement for their hospitality. There are like a lot of things that are happening, and part of it is in relation to some lands that some of them are on. Part of it is in relation to that. There are like a lot. This is a story that loaded in, folks. It's a story that loaded in. Take a look and take a listen to what they told us today. In Bath Settlement in relation to a piece of real estate pasture there. Take a look and look. Hold on. I don't want nobody say it's good for them. I come for fight y'all myself. Don't rule out people. Nobody in China ain't got no transport or nobody. Please and thank you. I warn y'all. Good. Here's some of what the folks told me in Bath Settlement today.
We are here mining our livestock for a long period of time, over 30-something years. Then now then coming to the land, then I even tell we nothing. We went to a meeting with Mustafa. He said that how
This is the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa.
You're right.
When was the meeting?
It was October.
October last. Good.
Yes.
We make some promises to assist.
Yeah. Now when we went to the meeting, after the rumors are going that this place I got to housing, one farmer raised it up. And he said he can't answer that. Right? Then he tell us that he will clean the bushes and how for wear cattle. And he did it. And now after 2 or 3 months then coming back from the place for housing. And now this is why is it. And no one reach out yet with us. We don't have nowhere to take all these animals. Look over there. We didn't get no way.
So the promise was you'd have this land to do your cattle rearing.
Yes.
And now they're saying something different.
Right.
They're demarcating the land for housing.
Yeah.
So what are you asking of the government? What
We
are you
are asking if we let them leave us here. We don't trouble nobody. And and then can go somewhere else and do the housing.
Excellent.
Right?
What is your estimation of the number of cattle you have here, cows, etc.?
About 500.
Cattle alone.
That for cattle, you get fine stock like pig, sheep, and so.
My name is Ramchan Ramnath. I meet up on this land of mine, me cow them about 30 years now. Me cow pen right over there. My pig, my horse, my sheep, my goat, everything on this land.
30 years you've been here.
30 years. When me come up on this land, when me go care them. That me want to know. The president must know where we go care them. He come at the Bath Center ground a couple days now, about a month ago now, say, you prepare some land, some of the Arabian on which side. So I need he to come on this land and show me which side he prepare this land for you.
You live here too.
Live with Bath Settlement.
And how much cattle you
I have 50 over there.
Yeah.
I have 40 pig button there. I have sheep, I have goat, everything. And this land, I don't mind them. So me know where the president want to care them. So I need he to come and see Abbey here, so, on this land. I'm not saying nobody else. Because I not move. The basic I not move on this land, I be here long enough. And people here longer than me. The big man they gonna talk about here, he did it too.
My name is Karan Balram, but Saklan from the city. This land was Guy Suku land. And through Guy Suku, we even have Savannah land, where they give it take weight and plant rice. Open rice in us. We then gave up a piece of bio the overroad, then for grass field after that, take it and make house in. And then they send us down here. And they're developing, Bulozit and been developing for the cattle and animal or bad livestock. And now we get to understand some more year pass. Now they come with open housing area here too. So you know why the people we are carry livestock them.
And what kind of livestock do you have?
Me have some sheep on my house, 60 sheep, personally. Mostly me get cow, me have sell out and take a housing and road. Cause me need a place to carry them. So me have sell them out. But me want buy back some way if you get land properly for the cattle farmers. And most of the milking cow them there by the roadside here.
We're there for a long period of time. Very, very long, I mind cow here. And all cattle, sheep, goat, fowl, duck, I'll be there for a long period of time. I will chop this place, interior bush, with cutlass, my 77 year. And all these are my picnic, one picnic. I be all ban and go behind cattle. And it can't fair if you don't take out. I be can't fair. This unfair. Where they go carrying cattle? Where they go carry them? They don't get nowhere to carry them cattle. When they carry them, go back them, people are thief them. When you carry them back them, them a thief. When you carry them back them are dead. Very much mind no cattle. My son them a carry them and them a mind them, bring them come. All my grand picking them grow here. All grow here. And you can't fair if you don't take them away.
And what you said you've been here for a very long time.
Very long time.
What specifically you are asking the government to do here?
Like left of here. Like left of here. I be never move. Because I'm waiting to go. Where we go? Milk I be living.
So since the initial meeting you all had last November, has anybody come back?
No.
And
No.
nobody has said anything. The surveyors coming.
Yeah. Housing coming Panabi.
And have they said anything to you guys officially?
Just like that.
Just torn up like that within a 2 day, 3 day period. Nobody ever come consult or anything.
Right now, when they're in the land of surveyor.
Today is a very sad day for the people of Bad. First of all, these farmers here are the offsprings of the endangered laborer, right? And this is something they inherited from the endangered laborer. Batman had a cattle ranch, you call it labor ranch. That was something Jagan and fight about years ago, that the people must get something side. Mr. Bazio knew that, not only to work in the industry, but to get something side to bring us a side income. So there was a labor ranch of 2,000 acres of land. During 1998, no, 78, 79, when Ballas come into scene, you know, this MMA scheme, they see it fit to make it rice industrial area. So they take it and make it a rice industrial area. So we keep on straying from them to them. So after that, after some long negotiation with Mr. Carter and all of them, they identify a piece of land over road, 168 acres. You call it Black D for the farmers. That land developed by PL 480 plan. Even the American ambassador opened that place, you know, Miss Teresa Antol, for the farmers.
That was a long time.
That's a long time. I think that is in something 80 something, 90 something. So at then, the people are there making a livelihood very comfortable, without problem. The government see it fit at that time now. When government changed in 1992, the minister then was Mr. Henry Jeffrey. They see it they want there for housing. That is the Black D. The farmers took a stand that they are not moving unless they get other land in their possession. With the Minister of Agriculture then was Mr. Ripidima Pasad. So the farmers and the government at the time agreed, along with the estate manager, Mr. John Bard, agreed to identify this land. In the presence of me, Mr. John Bard, Senior Superintendent, and pinpoint this land. 117 acres. Said, this is the land you all could take occupation as from today.
100 and how much acre?
117 acres.
Okay.
I have some documents to follow up. This is what I'm saying here. So on this spot in 1995, the farmers here come together, pool their own money, and hire MMA bulldozer, the government bulldozer, for $4,200 an hour, and bulldozers. There was no objection by no one, no comment by anyone, like any individual. But the people took occupation from
So this was
total bush.
bush.
It was bush when we come in 1995. It was abandoned land, total abandoned. So the people took position, and we are here all the time, without a problem, without comment. 2013, some livestock, some cash crop farmer come up and said this is their land, but nobody intend to listen to us. After they talk about, it have remained. The president intervened, but now of the recently most sickening. The Minister of Agriculture visited Bath in October last year, and he had decided to give some assistance to the farmers, just to do a little more clearing, so the farmers' life could be a bit more comfortable for grazing their stock. From October to then, the people still here, the 3rd of this month, right? That is Wednesday gone. Just on the said spot here, me see 2 Jeep come up, the man send car, me say, "Why here happen?" Then come to do work here just like that. Then come to do housing work. Me say, "What kind of work?" He said, "Housing." Me say, "Man, I never see a bullyism like this, without a confrontation, without dialogue with the farmers, just like that." I call it real bullyism, You don't think they're supposed to consult the people and talk to the people? Just coming like that, and then still using strong arm. I want to say strong, and they use the strong arm against the weak. They might use it against the weak and the poor.
Have you guys tried to talk to call the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa?
Well, from
what
then,
about Colin Crowley? I'll try to talk
from
to them.
then now, we're just trying to make some attempt, because we are at the point to see the president right away, right? And we cannot get returns full Thailand to today, and so that them busy occupied for make attempt to talk to him.
So you all have tried to reach out to the office of the president to talk with him.
To talk. Well,
And
it's just an appointment is making now. We even attempt to see the prime minister. All of them said they prepare land, but let me tell you something clearly. There are many small farmers around here who have couple things. Cannot go big miles away for couple sheep and couple goat like this woman is a widow, right? There, couple sheep. All made and said them protect some big lands at the back, right? For give farmers 5,000 acre land. I am there too. If you see what's going on there, cow dying out, dry. Them in office, I just talk, but they go on the backland and see what's going on. We have weak representation. And I could even make this word statement clearly. The livestock farmer in this country are getting weak representation from GLD. Right? Very weak. And the bigger ones are getting the benefits. The evidence are there. It is there to see. I don't want to mention those things clearly. Because when you talk, you'll become targeted. I am well targeted already. That's the position with these people. These people feel that they must not, they should get a better dialogue, better understanding. I mean, I'm not against development, right? Development must take in place. But at the same time, you cannot behave like a strong man against the people. Right? And these are the people of Bath. I am standing on Bath here. This is the ground. Well, Mr. Duncan, let me explain this unto you. It just come to my mind. This is the only backland this community have access to, because all the land is Gaisuku, right? If you go to some other area, people have backlands, right? Like for example, Captain Tree have cattle ranch. You get Shiltong they give there. You have Ithaca, but Bath have none, right? And these people, as Romeo said, that not supposed to combine with the government administration. These people come from endangered to there to here, and these people should be treated differently. Totally differently.
Any word from the I'd love to talk to him. Any word from Faisal Jafrali? I think he's the MP of the region here. Any word from him?
Somebody's going to talk to him. I didn't go.
Can't do nothing. All right.
Yeah, we get a couple cow them, we get couple cow, we get pig and so all he. Now when a man come with a go to be a little thing, so what we go do? That will little horse and make that fair living.
You have cattle here too?
Yeah, that me cow and say that cow pig all in already. No, we said I'm going to go to the
What do you think should happen? What would you like to see happen?
Well, Baba try if the evening can give his places of love mine everything name. No, a man can start bulls and they want everybody to move up.
Has anybody said anything to you personally? Not exactly what was happening here?
No, no one tell me nothing. The man just come just on and start to bulls and you know what really about do.
So you're making a livelihood off of this land, or you would be
Lang over there, like about fat or something, you like every day lang. And now the man come to take the place finally. No, they didn't even tell you nothing, so you only notice like to move out. Just for the man come in.
Thank you.
And when you come and get trapped on, when you can't live with them, they might tell you every day, years now come, and I don't know when they never come. They talk to Dilshan himself. They tell he say yes, you come.
Who is Dilshan? For those who don't know. Okay. He works in the region here?
Yeah. When me tell back, he was the cow. He tell me now. When me sell out the cow, that the cow, so the cow can't live. He never come and see him to the cow. But you tell me that the cow can't live, sell out the cow. I want me get the same cow there now, my 2 calf. Me look after the cow myself and that cow with 2 calf for mine. And he tell me sell out me cow. Then now is what kind of vet then, man.
My name is Tafraz Bikram. This is my father, this is my mother. We just grow around here with animals. When we little, my daddy used to fetch me all about the mine cow. Me go school up the farm before I come out after the animal, my old man is sick. Everybody will know that. And Mr. Shamir know that say how my head cow used to graze over the other over. And now he still come over, he can take over here. He know that. And now he say he can't know nothing about that, so he got work to do. So mother just go all about the meeting and thing.
Yeah.
My time me young man, me not married yet, me go and girl for married and me can't do it because the little milk not try milk, now for make me live in. And me milk about 10 gallon milk every morning or more. More and up. When he done now, everything done, we finish. We finish after here. Cause here brazen right now. Cayman again nothing, the animal are dead. The animal dead. This is the only uplift piece of land. They have for the dairy animal. Everybody do a little milking right now. The benefit for everybody.
And how much cattle you all have here?
Around about 85. Beer milking cow here. Each one of the milk, if you milk them, you get over 1 gallon milk for the morning.
Ma'am, you're very emotional about this issue with the farming here.
Because I have a video, I have mind me things, sir. I need to go to bed. When me all, when we don't get me do things. Me love him. Me husband, 30 years, 32 years, now my husband dead. I mean, I take nobody, me I live with my grandpa. And I hear me, let's come and get a little time. I watch man, me go to the other, there's a tree. All there I watch them. And if me absent, they come and this is, look over them. Now if they can't be so, we can meet up and do that. That thing will make me live in fun. If me think little bad, we can just one go out and get a little, or 2 cents to buy a little ration and do something.
So you earn a livelihood from this
Yes,
here.
yes, sure. Under my fowl and duck and turkey in the house.
You live in
And I plant a little garden.
you live in bad settlement. You said this is the heartland of the current government.
Yes, I got grandfather, me born and grow here. Me born and grow here, my grandfather, my father, I let me could go up here. And me get that, me get the government, get that, and me come here, go live. I went to bad settlement. My brother, the whole generation, my sister and brother, married out of here, for the God of my mind stocks. I might fall when you go doctor now, that's a use cow milk, use fowl egg, yard fowl egg, I'm gonna tell you plain. When all these things go down, I'm gonna eat. When I'm gonna drink, go home, to build up myself up, to build up the children. Them children were born. Them pregnant mother, when they go down, well, I'm his cousin, belly big and she go. He said, how you do? He said, man, and nurse tell me use enough egg and cow milk. We said, oh, my 10 minutes. He said, no. Straight cow milk and yard fowl egg. Oh, you get down and take everything. And now the government I give little piece on. If you shit on, you never say, you me first time and study. Oh, me go for 18. So little bit on the maggie. Oh, you got the cows and now you got planting
You think the certain people got support this? What happened? I'm just stepping out. And today, yesterday is a history day of federal land. Now, settlement people federal land in history day, so I'm permanent land for minor cattle. Me and the other guy, me grandpick, me never grow up. What I'm gonna do the same thing I see you and do? Them alive. You understand?
Do you feel you're being bullied here?
Yes, more than bully. Because when you got me a friend all over, me go to Christian George, not long me start, go to Christian George. You meet up, when you go to church, I say, love your family, Lord, the church is like a family. You meet up Negro, you meet up white people, them attack the story, girl. Government gave me land and great old big peace place. Plant and mine. They tell you plant and mine, they say, yeah, a little piece me, I be getting a Gary. Why? Why did I give out settlement people peace? Only problem. How did it fast about even supposed to get on? How we start up people, what settlement is a stand all over the government? And how we stand up for the government? This long election, what is that some problem with? People, cousins, friends, like here. We'll take this election. Come on, the jail, the one's got jail. The one's for big disappointments.
My sister, you're going to be talking to the president. You're going to be talking to the vice
Well, see,
president.
me
What
not
do you say to them?
me not want to talk to nobody because thieves are run out in me eye because what did the punishment I'm going through? The thieves, we want one scar, the thieves are coming fast and you can't control it. Till we come to the stories, me not sleep, me not eat. Me can't touch it. Me watch it till 3 o'clock and never go home back with a minute later. You can't do nothing when the sun.
And why have you been watching?
Huh?
Why?
Good. And if we come and take law by the incentives of each other in the family. You understand? Why don't we go drop a couple of days or 2 weeks now? 11 and 3, my grandson tell me what left me to know. Why will you watch me bring a kid in the house? We live in when you go back and say get cancer, why don't you stop it? You study sick with cancer and you don't have no face. You have a mind problem. You don't have a mind problem. You're taking your mind and you're stressed out on your door. Now, you're not may I eat the problem if you want to come the problem in your hand. It's full of beans and it's full of mind and it's full of beans.
And what are you asking for as a resolution?
Something for sure, so no one put on me. Something you come up and say, me this again, we're going to take over. And he who want to come and solve our problem here present now. He's supposed to solve this problem. He lies since he going inside there to solve bad settlement people problem. And let us live in peace. We want peace. We want love. We want unite. That's what we fight for. That's what we're speaking for. For everybody. We want peace.
So you say you don't want no minister to come?
No, yes, I mean the prime minister. You have to be the head. The same thing that he himself come and tell everyone and not stop all this thing off me. If this thing you come up on the inside, I will have to cool a little bit. But I would still want to see what the government will give me peace. I will say, hold on. We'll see when you have a piece and I will know I will form. I will all right, so I will have to study. I will study to bring everything and see what we can do. Planting grass, we just plant, but the cows eat them out and drive it and them dead out and thing. Every time we come here, we go and chuck out, we see the water there. Because we grow, you can spread, the seed go spread and then the whole place go get. So me and the government itself come. He is the maker of all the rule. He is the maker of all the law. He make all the law. To all the minister them. So if he come, I'm not to help him. I want to push you around and I want to push you around. I want to say me go phone the president and ask him and prove he himself go come and resolve this matter as quick as possible before this contractor do more. And then you have pay compensation with the contractor again. Like we go as quick as possible. So the contractor will stop you and you don't have to find no expense. Now let me get you say.
Yeah. That being said, folks, I don't want to add anything. I don't want to subtract anything. But that being said, thanks for being here with us this evening, folks. Sukhchan, Sudhari, Sukhchan, Lyndon, Tony Hack is here. I ain't seen Tony Hack in a long time. Rihanna Mingo, James, Evan Fit, Edward Brooms, Ivatni Wilson, Irma Holder, Carol Monroe. Good to see you guys on the live. Naomi said, pushing good through. Respect and manners, folks. That's going to do it for us tonight from this end. That's our time, and that's our program, folks. That's me time. That's me program. Thanks for joining us. Let me go. Edward Brooms. I see Wendy Stevens is here. Sandra Hanover is here as well. Myrna Toby, Michelle. Is it Net Baquette? Net Baquette. Good to have you. Graham's Jace. Good to see you on the live too. Michelle Justice. You needed Michelle Justice, Abira and Sandra, Lachman Aziz, and all the other folks. Good to see you, Lachman. Lachman, I was so close. So close. And yet so far. Good to have you, Carolyn, and all the other folks joining us tonight. That's going to do it. Stay safe, folks. That's our time. And that's our program. Stay safe.